Hey guys, happy Friday. Anton McCarthy here. Just wanted to shoot a quick video in case it's useful for people heading into the weekend. So, when we talk about anxiety or depression or anything where people are struggling emotionally on the inside, the go to really is for people to say, here's what my problem is, here's what I'm feeling, here's what I'm struggling with. Is anyone else feeling the same? Does anyone know? Does anyone have any tips? So really it's like problem solution, or just that you want to share and vent, which is obviously totally fine as well. What can be useful is to look further upstream. So look at what is, instead of being completely in the experience, which is, if you're in an experience, you're in an experience. It can also be useful to ask the question, where is this experience coming from? And what a lot of people don't realize is that 100% of our experience of life is created through thought. So that's our thinking from moment to moment. And really, life is just a series of moments. So you might notice during the day that certain things come up for you. You've got certain thoughts, and some of them make you feel anxious or stressed or fearful or whatever it is, or angry or sad or frustrated. And then there are times when there's not a whole lot on our mind and we're just going about our day. We might be sitting in the park having a coffee, we might be chatting to a friend, we might be just walking down the street, and we might be feeling good. And we think, here's a moment of sort of happiness or peace. This mustn't be who I am or how it's meant to be. And then when we go back to feeling stressed or whatever, it's like, okay, it's back again. This is kind of what I'm used to. But really what it is that, when we're not caught up in thinking, when we don't have that racing set of thoughts running through our heads, that's really when we feel good, because it's the racing thoughts, not the actual situation that we're thinking about or that we're in, that's causing us to feel the way we feel. It's really the fact that we're very caught up in our heads. And what you'll find is that sometimes when there are challenges in your life or things that need to be addressed, it could be a job, it could be a boss that you're not getting on with, it could be family stuff or partner stuff, or just your kids are running riot or whatever it is, or it could be literally anything. There are times when we feel really stressed about those things, and there are times when we feel, okay, we've got a handle on this, I can manage it, or things are just like crazy, but we're just managing either way. So what's going on in that situation? Ask yourself, how can I feel okay about a situation one moment and then feel stressed about it another moment, but the situation hasn't changed. So what has changed? It's just the fact that whatever your thoughts are in that moment are determining how you feel about that situation. That's really what it is. So now, this is not a case of a lot of what modern psychology talks about, and all of these different therapies and treatments and all that, which can work to an extent for a lot of people, but they tend to be hit and miss most of the time. And that's really because they're all about managing and coping and trying to control your thoughts and thinking positive and reframing things and writing things down and all that kind of stuff. And that kind of can sound a bit exhausting, even just talking about it, but also it's maybe not necessary, because if we just observe our thoughts and just kind of consider that they are just thoughts, so things that are arising in within us, and just notice them and kind of observe how they do pass, how they don't retain their strength and power for very long. So even in the midst of like the biggest argument with your partner, maybe an hour later, 10 minutes later, the following day, you'll think, what was all that about? That was like maybe a bit over the top, or it wasn't as big a deal as we made it out to be, or I kind of really got angry, but now I feel kind of okay, or that it wasn't that big a deal. And really, again, it's just that when we're in that experience, we're really caught up and everything is just feeling very, very real and very, very intense. But then when our thoughts naturally fade, we feel differently, because our thoughts have changed, not the situation. So that's really a common misunderstanding, is that our situations directly affect how we feel, whereas really it's the thoughts that are coming to us at that moment that actually determine how we feel. And if we can kind of just reflect on that and think, okay, and just consider, that there's nothing that you need to do. You can just notice. Instead of feeling that you have to do something about your thoughts or your feelings, just notice them and sit with them. And suddenly, before long, really, you'll notice that they're already changing, they're already shifting, and you're already starting to feel differently. And that can really open up to a place where you can really see thoughts for what they are. They're fleeting, they don't mean half as much as you think they do. And they're kind of gone before you even realize they're gone, So yeah, that's just kind of my 2 cents and my thinking at the moment. Just thought I wanted to kind of share this because, if it helps one person, that's fantastic. Do let me know if it does. Yeah, and there's more content on my blog, which is linked in my profile, and feel free to sign up for the email newsletter, which I'm going to get going soon. But hopefully this helped, and let me know if it did. Cheers. Bye bye.